Today, we're photographing rum in New York City. Right, morning. I'm often asked, what are you doing on your roof at 9:45 in the morning with a bottle of rum? But today I actually have a good answer for that, because a lovely chap by the name of Roscoe has asked me a question saying, of all of the lenses that you have, I'm bastardizing his question, I'll put it on screen. It's basically a question about what the right lens is for product photography. So I've got with me my 80, my 110, and my default answer to this question, which is on my camera, which is the 120 macro lens. I think that's going to win. Have I tested it? No. Have I scripted this? No. You know how we do up here. So I'm going to take photos of this bottle of rum sat here using 3 different lenses on this tripod, and all you have to do is point out all the things I do wrong. And then at the end of it, we'll compare the images. I'm not going to Photoshop it. We're just going to get into it. So Roscoe, I appreciate your question. If any of you guys want me to test anything, they're the easiest videos to make in the world. So it's freezing. I've got through 3/4 of that. I think we'll leave some rum in there for indicative purposes, but on with the show. We're going to use the same settings on everything. I'm going to sit you down about here, I think. Actually, no, that'd be rubbish, won't it? Because I won't be in it. So I've got the 120 on here, and we're shooting at f9, reasonable, okay. 200, fine, everything's on a tripod and locked down. 2-second shutter delay, and yeah, it beeps. It beeps. I like the beep. And ISO 200. Not the lowest, not the highest. Very nice though. Okay, and we're just going to do the same shot. I didn't set the 2-second thing. Now I have to do that, and then I have to stay still. And someone's going to complain about my tripod. Oh, you're on the top of a building, there's an enormous amount of shake. There's not. Get over it. Alright, 2 seconds is on. Okay, I'm going to compose that a tiny bit better so the bottle has a bit of space to breathe. Right, we've got some buildings in the background. This isn't going to set you all on fire as a shot, but it should. Okay, I've gone to f8. Shoot me. 3, 2. Beep! Alright, that's the 120. Optical image stabilization is on. You get that as part of this, but it's also built into the camera. Oh my god, he's exposing his camera to the elements. Oh my god, think of all the dust particles that are getting in there. Oh my god, he's putting on the 110. He just doesn't give a fuck. No, I don't. Oh no. For the 110, I'm going to take a slightly different angle to make this video more dynamic, because we're trying to get better at that. Wow, look how much more dynamic this is. Okay, we've got exactly the same settings. We can go f8, leave it for 2 seconds. Great, it's another good pop. Then we do one more with the 80. Okay, that's how you do it in the field, by the way. Honestly, don't troll me about you don't look after your gear. I'm well aware of it. It's just bits of plastic and metal and a bit of glass. Okay, it's not. I want to leave this to my great grandson. He's not going to give a shit about your camera. He's going to be interested in living in the virtual reality. Oh, I've done it twice. For the 80mm, we're going to move it in, because it is 63 equivalent, and that doesn't seem very kind. The test is complete. Who will be the winner? It's not going to be me. Let's put it that way. It's not going to be me. You're going to find fault with everything that I've done. You're going to fault my test, even though it was really scientific. So let's go back to the lab and process the results. Hello, and welcome back. I've got a brand new PC setup that actually is not horribly slow like my laptop was. I've got a big screen, and I'm showing it off. Right, I took 3 images up there. One from the 80. One from the 110, and one from the 120. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I think that's a fantastic comparison. All right, let's talk about these images. I'll go back to the 80. First and foremost, I haven't done anything to any of them, like literally nothing. This is straight out of camera, so there's no bullshit. I know a lot of YouTubers go, oh my god, is my aesthetic incredible. This is the type of image that you will take if you purchase this camera and this setup, and I think we can all agree at a first pass. All of these images are nice. f8 was arguably a little bit low, but I'm very happy with just the baseline aesthetics, and it's not like I'm trying to stall and buy time because I have absolutely no idea how to fucking do this comparison, but let's have a go. We were looking at sharpness, boring, We're looking at compression, also boring, and distortion, arguably the most boring thing. So 3 boring things to figure out. If you're deeply interested in all of these 3 things, there is a 0% chance you're going to subscribe to this channel, because I actually care about photographs and not image resolution and pixel peeping. And I do that mainly because of my intellectual insecurities around not really understanding those things. So as you can tell, the difference between an 80mm, which has a 63mm equivalent, and the 120 is observable in terms of the actual shape of the bottle and the natural compression. I don't think it's fair to compare a focal length, but it's something to bear in mind when it comes to the focal lengths you're using. The 110, the 90 equivalent, is probably going to give you a more proportionally reasonable product photography type vibe. So their proportions will look truer to life. But as you can probably tell, you'd have to be a real weirdo to go, oh my god, is that a bottle? It's so distorted. It is. So how do we get into actually comparing sharpness? Every single one of these images is tack sharp, right? I'm about to do something that no human being would do, okay? Photographers would, because we're not human beings, but no human being is about to do what I would do and go, I wonder what it would look like under a microscope. Oh, shit. That didn't work out very well. Bang. So we're in it now 400%. Okay? So we'll come into 100% just so you can see the type of files that come out. It's so sharp. Doesn't it look great? Why did I pick Puerto Rican rum, by the way? My girlfriend's Puerto Rican, and so all of my rum consumption now is Puerto Rican, and so should yours be. It is the most incredible place in the world. Everyone should visit. Don't live there, let that be for the Puerto Ricans, but certainly enjoy the charm of the island. Frustratingly, I think we have a clear winner in the sharp test, and when I say clear winner, we're talking about margins of about 5%, alright, so bear with me on this, but I think the difference between this and this is observable. It is observable, and this is at 100%. So, if you're a product photographer and your stuff is going on billboards, this possibly would justify going down the 120 route. The 110 it's beautiful, but we're going to go into 400% because, hey, you know, we ain't got nowhere to be. So the F there is horribly soft and really awful. No, of course it isn't. Every single one of these images would be acceptable in a professional environment. These are completely unedited as well, so these files are massive. There's tons of bandwidth for edits. Yeah, the 110 is sharper than the 80. And yeah, the 120 is sharper than the 110. This is kind of what we expected. But again, to be obsessed with that, with these images, I think you'd have to be a special kind of weirdo. I mean, weirdly at 100%, the 80 kind of shines. So, that was my incredibly schoolboy test. But I'll be very honest with you, unless you are literally doing archival footage for a borderline pedant, no one is ever going to drill into your photos as much as this, even if you're working with magazines. I think the most pleasing image to mine eye would probably come out of the 110. But we are talking about margins which are basically imperceptible. I really like that image that's come out of the 80. I like all of these images. In fact, the one that's probably the most striking is the 80. But the one I'm going to choose to edit today, even though this tower goes off into oblivion, which isn't ideal, the one, I don't like this to be competing with that. And I quite like the fact the bottle can actually stand its own here. So I'm going to edit the 110. Why don't I edit the 120? Because I think the light slightly changed. It's not like it's blown out or anything, but I mean, honestly, like, let's go to 400% here on the cap. You can see the wisps of plastic on the lid, and is that like fluff? Like, just the resolution is unbelievable. So no one's going to complain about this. I'm going to edit this image because I think it's my favourite. And maybe we'll do a workflow video on that later. I don't know if that was helpful, to be perfectly bloody honest, but that's what it was. All of these images produced are stunning. All of these lenses are incredible. This system's amazing. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you didn't, why not let me know in the comments or follow me on Instagram, because that's what plenty of other people do. A wonderful day. I don't
You really are the most devious bastard in New York City.